Let's face it, cooking can seem like a monumental task if you were never taught it. Don't worry, I got your back. I've had my blog PaleOMG for 11 years now, and I'm going to share my top 5 recipes you need to try this week. I'm Juli Bauer Roth, the food, fitness, and lifestyle blogger behind PaleOMG. Welcome to my channel. I'm here to share my favorite food, workout, and wellness tips to help you live your best damn life. And today we're talking food. It's all about the food. I love food. Ugh. I grew up so obsessed with food, and I still am. Nothing has changed. But I always thought I was a crazy person for being so obsessed with food because people made me feel like a crazy person. I would talk about what I was going to eat next while I was eating that meal. I was talking about dinner while I was eating breakfast. I was always thinking about the next meal, and then I made a career out of it. So if you think that your obsessions, your love interests can't be your job, that's so untrue. You can make it happen. I did. And that's when I created PaleOMG back in 2011. I was creating these different recipes, and I want to call them recipes. I was just whipping up different things because I had started eating paleo. I had no idea how to cook. I wasn't raised with a family who was able to cook. My mom worked full-time. My dad worked full-time. So we didn't have a ton of home-cooked meals. My parents would kind of ebb and flow with that, but I didn't really learn how to cook. And it was me having to teach myself as I got older. Well, I found out that my ADHD type of brain doesn't do well following recipes. So I would start cooking recipes that I found online, but then I would end up leaving out all these ingredients, or I just got distracted. I hated following directions. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna start figuring this out on my own. So I started just cooking on my own, started using different spices, different flours, all kinds of different things to see what would work and what would fail. And believe me, I've had so many failures, but I had many things that worked out, and that's how I created PaleOMG. I started cooking recipes. My friend said, hey, you should start a blog. I said, what the hell is a blog? And then I started one. PaleOMG began in May 2011. And since that was way back when, in 2011, I've had over 2,700 posts on my blog. Around 1,600 of those are recipes, even more than that. It's hard to keep track on my site, but I have hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of recipes to choose from. I have so many, which makes it a little overwhelming where to start if you go to paleomg.com. You're like, I don't know. Does this look good? I don't want to search through all these recipes. So I'm going to give you 5 different recipes to choose from that I think you should try this week or the next week or the week after, in the next month, because they are delicious. They're pretty dang easy. And then you'll feel like you know how to cook yourself. So if you're lost with cooking, I have your back. Let's start with breakfast, okay? Who doesn't love breakfast? I want to have breakfast for dinner all the time. Does Brian let me do that? I guess he doesn't not let me do anything, but he doesn't want breakfast for dinner because he's a weirdo. Well, I do. Brunch for dinner, come on. I wish restaurants did that. Well, don't worry, you can do it yourself at home with my Greek yogurt waffles. Now, a bunch of recipes on my website are paleo, and then a bunch are not because I've kind of gone into paleo and gone out, but you can always make these Greek yogurt waffles with a dairy-free yogurt. I prefer the dairy. I think it just tastes so good. So the recipe is made with some eggs, a little Greek yogurt, a couple different flours, some baking powder, and then you just mix it all together, pop it in that waffle iron, because waffles over pancakes every day of the week. But of course, if you don't have a waffle iron, you can make them as pancakes, but just do the waffles. They hold little pockets of syrup, okay? Oh, so good. Then you pop it in your waffle iron, cook it up. They get really crispy on the outside, then soft and chewy and just decadent on the inside. They're the perfect Sunday waffle. Something I want to make a tradition in our own house now that I have a daughter is Sunday waffles. We haven't started it yet since she doesn't eat solid food, but that's what I'm hoping to do because I think that would just be so fun. But you got to try these Greek yogurt waffles. You're going to love them. I'll link all of these recipes in the description below. Now, those Greek yogurt waffles were made back in 2017, but we're bumping up to just a couple months ago in 2022 when I made my date banana bread. So I was pregnant. I was eating a bunch of dates because at the end of pregnancy, it's really good to eat dates. Look at the research. We won't even go into it now, but it's really good to eat those dates. Eat them up after 35 weeks. And so I was trying to find a way to eat dates in a different way. My date banana bread was it. It is my favorite banana bread of all time. I've made so many different banana bread recipes on my website, but this date banana bread was off the chain. Man, you put a little butter on top, a little flake salt. Don't hate it till you try it. It is delicious. What's so cool about this banana bread is the sugar is the dates. So you blend it up almost like a caramel sauce with water. And then you're going to add your different flour, your bananas, your eggs, bake it. Oh, it's dense. It's chewy. It's soft. It's warm. Oh, it's crispy on the top. Oh my gosh. It's a thing of beauty. You got to try it, okay? So now we've hit a breakfast, Greek yogurt waffles. We've hit a snack, date banana bread. Fantastic snack. Ooh, you know what's really good on it? A little Greek yogurt. Yeah, yogurt and some jam on your banana bread is phenomenal. Number 3, let's go to a side dish. Now this dish I made for Thanksgiving in 2016, the year my husband and I got married. In 2016 for Thanksgiving, I made this brown butter herb skillet potato dish. So you take a potato and you use a mandolin to thinly slice it. Okay, don't cut off your fingers. Don't shave off your fingers. It's happened to every single person. We have all been there. Use a glove, okay? Be smart here. But you shave them all thin, and so they're like almost like this feather. Then you put them in a skillet. You're gonna cook some butter until it's brown, add some herbs, some salt. You're gonna pour it on top of the skillet potatoes, put it in the oven. They're gonna cook and get all crispy and brown on the bottom. And so they have this little chewiness to them. And then they're just flaky, fall apart, melt in your mouth, perfection. So if you like potatoes because you're human, you know, you're an amazing human, you have to try these. They are one of my favorite potato dishes of all time. It goes so great at any party that you're going to. Go to Thanksgiving, go to a little backyard barbecue, wherever you're going, bring the potatoes. Bring the brown butter herb skillet potatoes. And now for a main dish. Now this is a dish I remember so clearly in my head. It was 2014. I was still dating my husband. We weren't living together. And I brought this dish over to his house. And I'm like, I think you need to try this. I think this recipe is going to be really popular. And he tried it and he was like, yeah, it's good. This is what happens when you marry a non-foodie. They don't care. I will make him the most decadent dish and he's like, yeah, it's good. But he can also go without thinking about food most of the day. I wake up thinking about food. I cannot wait to eat. Back to the point, 2014, I made my almost 5-ingredient pizza spaghetti pie. Now, when I made this, I think because it was 5 ingredients, people went crazy for it. And my blog was a lot different back then, so I had even more traffic. So I've had millions of views to this recipe from back in 2014. And it has almost 300 5-star reviews. People love this recipe. It's so freaking cool and it's so easy. You're using a little bit of pizza sauce, a spaghetti squash, some spicy Italian sausage. You cook it all together with some eggs so it creates this casserole dish, but it tastes cheesy. So if you're staying away from cheese, which I was back then, this dish is really comforting. It has that umami flavor that you get from cheese, and it is so filling and so delicious. And then it's just spaghetti squash. You're not using actual spaghetti, so you're getting a vegetable in there while getting a really filling dish. And you can top it with whatever you want. So you can make it whatever kind of pizza you want. You want some pepperoni on there. You want a little pepper. I don't know. How do you make your pizza? Make it like that, bake it, and you have a delicious pizza pie. It's crazy that it's 2022 as I record this, but my all-time most popular recipe is still my 2014 pizza spaghetti pie. It's held up. You gotta try it. But most importantly, dessert. It's always the most important. And maybe because I'm recording this in October, that might skew my idea of the best dessert recipe. But right now, it's my pumpkin cake. I love this pumpkin cake. It's made with a gluten-free flour. It's topped with a cream cheese frosting, which you can use dairy-free cream cheese if you're dairy-free. There's some great options out there like Kite Hill. They have an almond milk cream cheese that's really delicious. And then you put a little caramel sauce within the cream cheese frosting on top. So it has this sweet flavor to it, this festive flavor with the pumpkin pie spice. And then it has sweet and salty all mixed together. And it just makes the most decadent, divine cake. I love it so much. It's just one of those recipes that is going to satisfy everyone who's around. If they don't like pumpkin spice, what? I get it. Not everybody likes pumpkin, but pumpkin spice, oh, it just brings in that holiday feel, you know? But as I said, those are only 5 recipes, okay? That's my top 5. Maybe you're like, okay, I need a pork recipe. Oh my God, my pork belly tacos, get out of here. Maybe you need a shrimp recipe. I have a shrimp summer salad that's going to knock your little titties off. Am I allowed to say titties? Socks off? Oh, boring. Either way, you have to check out PaleOMG.com. I have so many recipes that I think you're going to love. Anybody can find a recipe that they like on there. But if you're not new to PaleOMG, do you have a favorite recipe? Will you tell me? Share with the group in the comments below. Love to hear from you. I have a whole list of recipes that I want to make that I'm constantly adding to, so the blog has new recipes every single week. You're always going to find something new there. I just shared a recipe for my creamy mushroom and wild rice soup, and if you're in winter right now, you gotta try it. It is so comforting. But hopefully this helped you navigate PaleOMG a little bit more. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this, and stay tuned. I have a few more I think you're gonna like.